Hello everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today we are going to talk about TwinMotion's configurator features. This is such a fun feature that allows you to create a bundled presentation that allows you to switch materials. You can show different layouts and different ambiance options, like even the time of day. You can also add items like light switches to make your space interactive. You can also integrate animations into your configurators to illustrate options your client might have. So let's get into it. To start applying configurators, let's go to the Media menu, the same place where we store our images and videos. Let's click on the Configuration menu. Start by clicking on the ellipsis and then on the type of configuration you want to create. Let's start with the material swatch, then click on the plus sign to create this scenario. It's really important to be organized throughout this process, so let's click back on the configuration menu and rename it. This one will feature our material changes, so naming it this will be pretty straightforward. Clicking on it again will bring us into the menu to apply our settings. You start with a default state. To add another state, click on the center Create State icon. While the state is selected, we can now apply our other materials. I've created this custom material library that I can easily drag my materials into my drawing. Once you have applied, make sure you hit the refresh button to hold the finishes that you've applied. Let's rename this state Cool Colors. The first state had our yellow and orange and red, so let's name this one Warm Colors. Now let's explore the properties of our state. The top portion shows the properties of the items we have modified. If you expand this list, you can see what items the changes have been applied to. We can also control the trigger here. This is the item that allows you to switch between the various states. There are a handful of icons here, and you can even load your own if you want to. Let's select this paint palette because that makes the most sense for this configuration. You can also adjust the size, opacity, and color of our icon. I tend to leave these at their default settings. You might also notice a noise when you click on the trigger. If you want to turn this off, you can go up to the Edit menu, then Preferences. Under the Appearance menu, you can uncheck the box for all sounds. You will notice white circles above our trigger. We can add images to the icon by selecting our state, then zooming into our material, then open your state menu and select Capture Thumbnail. Select your other state and do the same. This way, we can now see a preview or a suggestion of what that state will show. Now we can toggle through the different states by selecting the thumbnail. Okay, let's do another configuration. Back on our configuration menu, let's click the menu again and do this one for visibility. With this configuration, we can use our scene tree to hide or show different items within our scene. Over in my scene tree, I've organized my folders to show different layout options for my space. I have 3 layouts, so let's create 3 states. With the state selected, you can now hide or reveal items within your space. After you have done this, make sure you click that refresh button, add another state, turn on another option, and then click refresh again. Now we can cycle through the various layouts. Make sure to stay organized and rename them appropriately. Just like the material swatch, we can apply thumbnails to each of the toggles as well. Select your state, then on the state menu, select Capture Thumbnail. Okay, now let's adjust our trigger icon. This one looks like it might represent options. Let's create another configuration where we adjust the ambiance. In this setup, we're going to keep the first state as it is and call it daytime. Now we will create another state and let's call it evening. Let's pick a trigger with the sun and the clouds. Yep, that looks good. And with the second state selected, let's go over to the right side and select ambiance and then adjust our sun angle to appear more evening-esque. Make sure to capture your thumbnails, and that's it. This one's pretty easy and straightforward. You could use this for different seasons as well as different times of day. You could also change the HDRI background for all sorts of mood changes. For this next one, we're going to do another visibility configuration, but we're going to use this one to turn some lights on. So let's start by renaming it Lights. Our first state has the lights turned off. So let's create a second state with them turned on. In your scene tree, click the eye on the left to turn on the lights. I have organized my project by putting my lights in their own folder to help simplify and making finding them easier. For this configuration, we're going to do something a little bit different with the trigger. For the location, we're going to select 3D object. This is going to allow us to attach it to our light switch. With the trigger selected, if you hold down the Shift key and select the wall switch, it will snap to the object. Clicking on the trigger will now cycle through the stages created, imitating turning off and on the lights. I don't know about you, but this little trick just makes me smile because it is such a fun feature. Okay, last one and then we'll put it all together. For this one, we're going to create a properties configuration to toggle on some of the animators that have been placed. For this one, the order of clicks matters. I have 3 translators placed in my space. I'm going to select each of them and then select the play button. Then I'm going to click on the Create New State button. The first default one had the play button unchecked. The second one has the play button turned on. So we will rename the first one Storage and the second one No Storage, as this shows them moving away. Now, clicking the trigger will animate and not animate. Okay, let's put it all together. Start by clicking on the person icon for presentation. Click on the plus icon to create a new presentation. Now we need to add assets to our presentation. Click on the plus icon in the center, and let's grab this image. With your presentation selected, over in the Properties section under the Interface section, we can select our configurations. This is where renaming them becomes important, as you can turn any of them on or off. Now, clicking on the full screen mode will allow you to see what your presentation will look like to your customer. In here, clicking on any of the triggers will activate them. You can even mix and match, which is pretty fun. Hope you enjoyed this feature as much as I do. Thanks for watching, and as always, have fun being creative.